Hello class, welcome to chapter 12, lesson 3. Today we're talking about Byzantine. So the Western Empire of Rome fell to barbarians, Germanic tribes, but in the East it thrived. It thrived as the Byzantine Empire. The Byzantine Empire started out very Roman, but over time it shifted into something different, a mishmash of Roman, Greek, Persian, and other cultures. The greatest ruler was a guy by the name of Justinian, and we learned all about him and the eclectic Byzantine culture on the very next page. So the Byzantine Empire reached its height of power in AD 500s. Its population was diverse, with the largest portion actually being Greek, not Roman. There were also Egyptians, Syrians, Arabs, Armenians, Jews, Persians, Slavs, and Turks. Like I said, diverse. Now, Constantine moved the capital of Rome to Byzantium and called it Constantinople. Seems a little self-centered, but I suppose I can't judge. My Mars colony is called Yondopolis. Anywho, by the 500s, Constantinople was a thriving city. Location had a lot to do with this. The city was right in between the Black and Aegean Seas. You see it right there. There's the Aegean, Black Sea, Constantinople. Constantinople was a thriving city. As a result of this location, it had a lot of access to the sea, boats, fishing, commerce. All the trade that went between Asia and Europe often went through Constantinople. Also, you can see here in this picture a real zoom in of Constantinople. It's on a peninsula, so it's surrounded on three sides by water, which means it only had to be really defended from attack from the land side, and so it was easily defensible and very hard to sneak attack. You could see if the attacks were coming. Now, initially, Constantinople was a typical Roman city. In fact, it was called New Rome. Nickname was Constantinople. It had Roman-style buildings. Officials spoke Latin, and the laws were Roman laws. It was essentially a Roman city. However, after the fall of the West, basically the influence of Rome diminished, and the influence of the new, the diverse population, it just began to change the culture there. Let's see. Other things they had in common with Rome. Initially, they had their own type of Colosseum. It was called the Hippodrome. And the old bread and circus strategy of placating the hungry masses. It was done like that. It was essentially a Roman city. But as I mentioned, over time, it began to change. For example, the largest portion of the population were Greek, and as a result, the city became very Greek. The Greek language became prevalent in government and with the wealthy. Basically, they switched from Latin to Greek language. The mixture of Persian, Greek, and Egyptian cultures, as well as others, blended together. All of this creating a culture unique to Byzantine. Now we get to Justinian. Justinian was the ruler of basically the Byzantine Empire at its height, at its zenith, it was 500s AD. He was a strong leader and skilled military commander. He's commonly viewed by historians as the greatest ruler of Byzantine. He did not act alone, though. His wife, Theodora, had a significant impact on the empire. A smart, beautiful, and ambitious woman, Theodora helped her husband choose government officials and conduct business. She also advocated for women's rights. At her urging, laws were changed so that women, for example, could own the land that their husband owned in the event that their husband died. And that way they could still take care of their children. Now, a major and long-lasting contribution of Justinian is the Justinian Code. After becoming the Emperor of Byzantine, Justinian realized the laws were disorganized and confusing. He ordered a team of scholars, legal scholars specifically, to rewrite them. The Justinian Code allowed the people of Byzantine to know the law and therefore follow the law. This system of laws was so good it served as a template for almost all codes of law in Western civilization. Moving on to the arts, Byzantine being born of the Roman Empire, after its adoption of Roman Catholicism, was a Christian empire. Throughout the empire were thousands of churches. Constantinople itself had hundreds of churches. Among the most beautiful of them is the Hagia Sophia, which still stands today in Istanbul, which is what Constantinople became. It took 10,000 workers to create the dome church. The inside contains walls of polished marble with ornate gold and silver ornaments. There are mosaics of the saints, or holy people to Catholics, and emperors within. A mosaic is a picture made of small colored glass or small colored stones, like seen below right here. You can see the inside with a virtual tour here. I have to tell you, it's breathtaking. I found this nice 3D tour. You go to the website and you click on it. It's kind of like the Google machine thing, but you can see the inside of it. It is quite a sight to behold, and there's all kinds of rooms you can check out. So education was important in Byzantine, as it was in Rome. Boys went to school or had private tutors. Girls did not generally go to school being taught anything they needed to know at home. Sounds kind of familiar. In terms of military conquests, unlike the Romans before them, the army of Byzantine did not rely on heavy infantry and formations, but instead focused on cavalry. Here you see a picture of the Byzantine cavalry, heavy cavalry. Now Justinian wanted to restore the glory of Rome, and with the help of his finest general, Belisarius, he set about conquering the lands that had been Rome's. He did reconquer the Italian peninsula, as well as parts of North Africa, and even some of Spain. You can see here was Byzantine. Went back, conquered Greece, North Africa, and a little bit of Spain right here. That was Justinian's conquests. Let's see, but these conquests were short-lived. After the death of Justinian, these territories were once again lost. In large part, the army of Byzantine became weaker as a result of a plague that killed millions of people in the whole continent. So throughout Asia and Europe, and it's now referred to as Justinian's plague. There was also the issue that Byzantine made these conquests, but just didn't have the resources or wealth to maintain the large standing army that would be required to defend all this territory. So the golden age of Byzantine under Justinian, they did a lot of conquering, but they couldn't hold on to it. And that's our lesson for the day. Let's check out our assignment for the day. 2 questions. Question 1, how did Byzantine end up with its own unique culture? Question 2, what factors led to Byzantine losing the territories retaken by Justinian? These are things mentioned in the book. They're things we just mentioned in the lesson. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, have a good day.